Many people said don't do it, so I did it anyway. Today marks day 391 of a video everyday challenge that I started last Halloween. And I got a really good question from my buddy Alicia, and she wanted to know, in that 365-day challenge, what were the things that I kept during the process? Was it the Final Cut projects, the transcripts, the audio, etc.? That is a fantastic question, Alicia, and I definitely want to give you that answer real quick. But before I get into that, let me explain why I think doing a challenge like this is actually good for many creators, although most of my contemporaries would tell you it's not. I wrote some notes on my phone, and of course, I decided to cut off. Okay, the first thing that you're going to get is accelerated learning. In the process of doing that many videos, you learn from your mistakes. You learn how to get better at everything. You get better at talking, you get better at editing, you get better at not overshooting if you're out, shooting clips, and your process just gets better. The accelerated learning process helps you go through your failures quicker, and you fail fast, learn from those failures, and then that becomes sort of the power that you need to be a better creator. And I do think that's very important. And so I wanted to also hammer on the point that even if in a 365-day challenge, which I will admit sounds daunting, about halfway through my challenge last year, I told people who might embark on a journey like this, even if you're just doing a 30-day challenge, do it at 3 days at a time and do that 10 times. It sounds better to your brain, especially if you have an apprehensive brain. So I kept breaking it down into smaller chunks. I think the other thing that's important about doing something like this, it helps you find your voice faster. So even if, and I'm going to give you guys a lot of outs here, even though I don't want you to take them, I'm going to give you all the outs in the world. Say you made it to day 65, you okay, I quit. In that 65 days, you'd be quicker to finding your voice, finding your audience, finding your community, and getting yourself to a point where you can start to monetize some of this content. If you happen to make it through an entire year, oh, you're definitely going to get there. I can almost guarantee you that, although I probably shouldn't make any guarantees. I can almost guarantee for most people, you will find those things. I think one of the common concerns that come up is, am I going to get burnt out? The people that talk about burnout are normally the people who started creating content for the sole purpose of monetizing, or they got to the point where they could monetize and they went a little, let's say, overboard with the monetization efforts and less of creating the content for what their original purpose was. And that's what caused you to get burned out, because you sort of lose sight, you lose focus, or as my homie Mary Lou likes to say, you lose the plot. If you know what you want, and I knew what I wanted to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people. I wanted to get a whole bunch of geriatric millennials and Gen X creators to start to tell their stories, because we have so much knowledge and so much experience, and yet we're the ones afraid to do it. And I watch kids out here creating content that looks good and sounds good on surface. And again, no shade to them. So many of them have no idea what they're talking about. You got people out here in their 20s talking about being a life coach, and I find that hilarious. Again, no shade to them, because at least they're doing it. So let me give you some basic results of what I got out of that 365 days. I gained over 1,500 subscribers. And yes, I would tell you subscribers don't matter, but I just wanted to give you the number in case you wondered. I did 536 videos. So that was long form and shorts, and of course, some live streams there. I had over 16,000 hours of watch time. So therefore, if your goal is to get to the 4,000 so you can get monetized, well, you're going to hit that, right? I had over 2,500 comments, and the majority of my videos I made answering comments like the one I'm doing today. And then I got over 4 million impressions. That's kind of a lot. Like, that's for my brain, knowing what I wanted to do, that kind of gasses my head up. It makes me want to keep going. And then I think the main thing is my purpose was fulfilled. I helped a lot of people. So many comments were like, that's exactly what I needed to hear. That's what I needed. Thank you. I've been looking for an answer to this. And when I get those comments every day, it really is helping me out. So another piece of advice I would give you is I did monthly themes. So of course, you guys know I started out with Nice to Know, Nice to Have November. And then I started out with the December tips. And then it was kind of like the New Year, New You. I did that 30 days of DaVinci Resolve over 40 and 30. Like I kept coming up with these weird ass themes that kind of helped me go through there. And very much so, the content was community driven. It was based off of what you guys asked for. The other thing that I get questioned a lot is like, how did you stay motivated over that time? I don't want to sound like a superhero in any way, shape, or form, but I personally believe motivation is absolute bullshit. Okay? You either want to do it or you don't. I don't need anybody to motivate me. When I feel like it, I feel like it. When I don't, I don't. What did I do to keep from not feeling like it? I kind of knew what I wanted, and that was to help you guys. And I always put, in a bad way, I put people in front of myself so many times. So my willingness to help you guys always overpowered what would be perceived as laziness. My one other practical takeaway I'll give you, on the days where I was like, okay, this one's going to be terrible, but I'm going to do it anyway, those tend to be the best videos. It's kind of comical, but it is. Last practical advice, start now, even if you're unsure, because you might just muck around and hit 100. If you happen to gain 150 or 200 or all 365, you will be in much better place a year from now. I am in a humongously better place than I was last year when I started this guy. I learned to get over my perfection a lot quicker. I learned to get over my over editing a lot quicker. Many of the videos aren't edited at all. They're literally slap the end card and send it. And then somebody reminded me that I could just put the end card like in my eCam and let it run from there. See how silly? I don't know. Never mind. We won't talk about that. And then, the main thing is experiment, reiterate those experiments, fail fast, gain that feedback, learn from your failures, 1% better. And then honestly, challenge yourself. Challenge yourself to do a daily video until you stop. And I mean, again, if you get 30 of them out, you're doing better than if you don't do this at all. And I know it sounds scary. It's not scary. Just go. If you need help, yes, you can use your chatbots and your friends to help you out with ideas. I did a couple ideas that came from the chatbots, but most of them came from you guys. So I know why you're just building out your community. You may not have that. So let the chatbot give you the ideas, but don't let it write your scripts. The key to having a script that's done that sounds like you and not like the chatbot is have the chatbot basically interview you for a script, okay? And I can do a demonstration of this real quickly, but I have a whole video where I show it. And actually, let me do it real quick so that way I'll give you a quick idea of what it sounds like.
Hey there, Doc Rock.
Hey, I want to do a video explaining to people how they should pack light for a business trip. I want you to ask me 3 questions that my audience will probably want to know the answer to that question.
Absolutely. Let's tee up some questions that'll hit the mark for your audience. Here are 3 that might get those gears turning. What's the most efficient way to choose what goes in your carry-on versus your checked bag for a business trip? How can you streamline your packing so you have all your essentials without overpacking, especially if you're going to multiple meetings or events? What are some smart tech or travel hacks that can help you stay organized and stress-free while you're on the road for business? Feel free to take these and run with them, or let me know if you need them tweaked.
All right, we'll come back to this conversation in a minute. I got to take a phone call.
No worries at all. Take your time with that call, and whenever you're ready to jump back in, we'll pick up right where we left off.
There you go. Super, super simple. Like literally, if instead of having it write the script for you, have it interview you so it can pull out the best in you and you don't have to sound like a bot, right? So again, just a super simple example, but there is it at, back to my notes. I just remember to spend some time to engage with your audience, and most of all, do not try to be perfect. Now, all the way back to Alicia's original question, and sorry, AT, I had to make you stick for this, but I know you're thinking about this, so I wanted to make sure you had those things in your mind before we got in. I kept everything with one exception that I wish I had kept. I kept all of my raw footage. I kept all of my Final Cut projects, and I also kept all of my transcripts. I kept all of the audio files. What I didn't keep was all of the transcripts. And about a month ago, I realized that was dumb. Because had I kept all of the transcripts, I could actually feed those in to Claude and ChatGPT, and it would be much better at helping me with the question like I just asked, because it would have a better idea of what I'm talking about. And because you and I are going to be very Notion oriented, you would just take these things and place them in a database in Notion, and Notion AI would even help you do a better job of getting these things out, because it will really start to understand what you sound like. This new terminology is known as an MCP, or a model context protocol. So you're just giving the model all the context that will really allow you to be you. So first of all, I want to thank AT for a fabulous question. Thank you, Alicia. And I really do hope you take this challenge. And it's not going to be easy, but it's also not going to be hard. And most of all, so many of you guys who are just starting out, it is the fastest way to get your feet, find your feet, and know what you want to do. Now, if you want to know more about equipment or what we should do or like how we edit, we can talk about that. Ask those questions. Any questions about doing this, drop that down in the comment section below. Because you know what I say? I have no idea who needed to hear this. Well, except Alicia. But if it was you, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, press the like button, press the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell. And right about now, the algorithm is going to show you another video I think you should watch, and I agree with it.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, it's 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throats, to turn to a ghost, I need to know everything. Now you be surprised at the info you get is by letting them talk, so I'm letting them talk.